Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited for today's video because we are trying out some new products from Melt, Hourglass. I have a new foundation. So we dive into some things. We also break down the two new palettes from Hourglass against some of the palettes that I already have in my collection. Maybe you need them, maybe you don't. But you guys, before we jump into it, if you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell for notifications, new videos. If you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. But if you want to see how I got this look, what products we use, just keep watching. Okay, you guys, so we have some new things to try out, and there were things that I didn't want to wait until I had a whole bunch of new items to try out, as well as I didn't feel like they warranted like their own dedicated video. So one of the things that I need to try out, and this is from, I picked it up at the Sephora sale. This is the Melt Electrip eyeshadow palette. Look at those colors, absolutely stunning. And this shimmer is mesmerizing. I can't wait to swatch it. But I was kind of bummed when I saw the outside carton. It was really cool. It was black with matte black with shiny black spirals like this. But then the inside package, I was kind of like, I wish it was the same. But we have this. I'm going to swatch that for you guys. And then Hourglass released two ambient lighting palettes, and I love the reflection that they give. But we're gonna try them out. We're gonna talk about it. Do we need a dedicated bronzer and a dedicated blush ambient palette? We'll talk. But let me go ahead and swatch this eyeshadow palette before we jump into the other products that I have as well. Okay, the swatches in this palette, oh my goodness, they are so stunning. And some of them, of course, they swatch better than others. The red, I had to go back and forth a couple times with the finger that I had put it on, just to get it to be cohesive. Whereas if you look at the teal, you can still see the fingerprint, even though I tried to drag it out of place. But we also know that swatches do not determine how well the eyeshadows work, and it's just a matter of playing around with them. The third shade barely showed up. I know, granted, it's on top of my tattoo, but I like showing you the color payoff on top of my tattoo. I mean, it's better than this one that has the entire arm. But some of these shimmers and eyeshadows are so saturated and bold that it is nice to show them on top of things, especially if you're someone who, like me, has veins and you're not a huge fan of them. That means your eyeshadows are going to cover them as well. But these colors, the brown is okay. I'm glad there is a dark shade in there so I can deepen up the corner if I want to. But the shimmers, this light blue, the green, stunning. The orange, I'm not a huge fan of orange, but I kind of like this shimmer. So I'm going to figure out what I'm going to use and we'll jump into it. Okay, much better. I forgot to close the blinds and I was like, why are my lights washing me out? I'm getting used to it. I don't usually, well, I didn't used to have to close my blinds, but the new lighting is a little bit different and they're not as powerful as the box lights, which is good because they would wash me out really bad whether the blinds were open or not. Also, I think we're going to use the orange shimmer because I was thinking about it. I haven't really done an orange eye look because it's not a shade I gravitate towards. So I think I have a way forward. We're going to try it out. If I don't like it, it is what it is and I'll take it off later. But figured we would try it because I have done some blue looks recently. Was it Lethal Cosmetics? I've done some blues, I've done some greens, and we're gonna do something else today. And also today is a game with Sochu where she's gonna run in the door and run out the door. Cats. Okay, the first shade I'm gonna use is this light peachy orange Bang. I'm gonna put that in the crease and some of the outer V before I go in with the red. I just don't want the red to go everywhere because it might look really crazy. All right, so it just dipped in slightly. There is another release from Melt that just came out and it's a very neutral palette. I thought about picking it up, but if you've been here before, you know my collection is literally all neutral palettes so I was just like, ooh, do I pick it up? Do I try it out? I want to, but do I realistically need another neutral palette? Probably not. I'm going in slightly just to build this up. I don't want it to be too crazy. Like I said, Orange is not my like go-to shade to use. And when I was a little more pale, I probably would not use orange at all. I think I tried one palette from Huda Beauty, which was kind of like a orangey mustard yellow. If that makes sense. I think, what was it? The Topaz palette. And I went out with the girls after I used it. And one of my friends was like, orange is not your shade. And I was like, cool. That's fantastic. So I have not done orange in over 3 years. So here goes nothing. Y'all will have to let me know if you like it, and I will wait to hear your comments. All right, just gave myself kind of an angled outer edge. I'm gonna go into the shade Strawberry Fields, which is that beautiful red shade. For this, I'm gonna use my compacted smudger because I want it to be a more precise application. Also because I'm very scared of messing this up. I've used reds before. I've used burgundies, but orange and red, and it's not bad. It's just, I don't want to mess it up. Such is not graceful. I don't know if you guys just heard the thud. She has a cat tower in here and 4 levels high. I want to say it's like 4 feet, 3.5 feet tall. She jumps down off of it like a sack of potatoes. We'll be downstairs watching TV and you just hear her like thud down. And I know she's not falling. I know she's jumping down, but man, does it sound like a calamity. So it's not as saturated, and I'm sure I can build this up a little bit more. It's more of a pinky red than a true red. So I packed it on right here and then I started to blend it out. So I'm starting to get more of a wash. I think I am gonna go back into the orange shade Bang, just a smidge. And right here on the outer edge, put it back in a little bit. It's actually quite pretty. I like it. Let me know your thoughts. Because I am not so sure about orange and red, and I don't know if I'm going to put the brown shade in. We'll see. I'm going to go into the shade Head Trip, and I think I'm going to do this on my middle finger and just in the center because I don't want it to be the all orange. I might use Saturn, which is the lighter shade, in the inner corner. And now into this light peach shade Saturn, which this is the one when I swatched it, it literally just looked like glitter. It is kind of dry when you're swatching it. It's not as buttery smooth as like Head Trip or Magic Mush. All right, so very beautiful though. I'm gonna put this inner corner and start blending them. So when I like crossed into and then I accidentally hit the orange with my ring finger, it dragged it back. It gave like a perfect blend of the two. I don't know if you can see that. It's just stunning. I wiped off the part where it like blended together because I still want it to be really pretty shimmery and then go into. Now I'm gonna go back into Strawberry Fields, that red shade, and just on the outer edge, ever so slightly. See how it's like dragging it when I blend it back and forth? Not too far in. I still have some on my finger. I'm going to bring a little bit of it out. You just have to finesse it until you get like the blend that you like. Oh, I like this. I don't think I'm adding any brown into it. I might change my mind. We'll see. I still have eyeliner and mascara. Oh, I kind of love this. Let me do this eye and I'll be back because I have another new product. Okay, you guys, so the face is primed and anything additional that I use that I don't talk about with you guys will be linked down below with clickable links. So definitely check the drop down box for that. Now, I picked up this foundation and I haven't had a chance to try it because I had other products that I tried as well. So this I picked up at the Sephora sale. It is the Saie, it's the Glowy Super Skin Foundation. I have it in shade 14. It says it has a radiant finish, hydrating, medium coverage, liquid formula, clean at Sephora, cruelty free. Lightweight serum foundation with medium buildable coverage that brightens and leaves a luminous finish Blends easily for a hydrated and seamless second skin appearance. So I know I kind of talked about it in one of my videos recently that yes, I'm oily, but I have been gravitating towards like natural finish foundations, vice matte, especially as I get older and mature skin. It just, when it dries down in my pores and fine lines, I don't want those accentuated, and matte foundations for some reason, as I've been getting older, do not flatter my skin. So I saw this and I really wanted to try it, but I haven't had a chance to. So we're going to today. I have high hopes for this. I'm really excited. Let me know if you've tried it. Oh, it is like super liquidy. I did use a primer that I know and love, and something that will like cover up my pores and fill in my fine lines, smooth out. But I wanted to try this out because I've seen good reviews. Do I know what their skin types were? No, because I didn't pay attention. Sometimes I am not the best like beauty YouTuber, and sometimes I just want to try them out because maybe they like a product that I don't like, or they don't like a product and I absolutely love it. It is crazy to see some of my favorite YouTubers and they completely disagree, but I'm gonna try it out anyways. Okay, so definitely, like, I can still see some of my redness coming through, which is fine. This is only the first like sweep of it, and also it was a very liquidy formula, but it looks so nice on my skin. Before, after, it's a lot smoother. Let's do the rest of it and see. I will say one pump, as fluidy as it is, goes a long way, but we'll see if it'll like show you how liquidy it is. Like, look at that. So with that being said, this is actually really like glowy and radiant, hence the name, Glowy Skin Foundation. I do have my concealer. I'm going to show you guys because I'm using a foundation product, but this is the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Luminous Matte Concealer, and then I'm using my Huda Beauty setting powder in the shade Pound Cake. Just so you can kind of see the skin like finish, we will just not talk so it can be sped up. Set, not set. Oh, my pores disappeared, you guys. I'm interested to see like how this performs the rest of the day. It's only 12 o'clock. I still have some other things to do, like pack the house, and one of my friends is coming over so I can do her makeup for her engagement photos. But we got things to do, so we'll see how this wears. It doesn't look like it sank into my lines, which I love that. Okay, you guys, I am actually really liking how my skin looks with it set. I can see some of my spots coming through. Mind you, I still have contour, blush, bronzer, all that, so they could get concealed anyways. But if you want something that isn't going to completely hide what your skin looks like, this is definitely it. I like it, and it canceled out the redness in my skin, so I really appreciate that too. Now, let's finish off this eye. I am probably going to go back into the shades that I had already used just to finish it off. I kind of want to use the teal, but I really want to stick with the red shades because I'm digging the reds and the oranges. I'm going to go into the shade Bang, and just on my small compacted smudge brush, pick that up and put it all the way underneath the eye. I'm going to place it before I blend it. I'm gonna go into the shade Strawberry Fields. This one I'm only taking to about halfway, not all the way in, just because I don't want it to be like too overpowering. And I might just place it right here in the outer V and then smudge the rest towards the center. It's kind of giving me like Phoenix vibes because they're red and orange. Now we have both of the Hourglass face palettes. And actually, let's pull some out because I have some. These are all the ones that I have in my collection. And actually, when I'm looking at this one I already had, this one is the new one. It's just recycled packaging. And then I want to say there was one this shade before. I have this one. It's a different like angle and whatnot. But I wonder if they've like recycled shades in here. So I know finishing powder Dim Light. Yeah, it's in this one. Also in this one. This one. So that's 3 of them. Nope, this one's Infinity Powder. Now, Diffused Light, also in here. This one's got Soft Light and Diffused Light. So technically, if you have these two, you already have the 2 finishing powders, Dim Light and Diffused Light. There's no finishing powders in this new blush one. Didn't plan on dissecting all my previous palettes, but also looking for finishing powder Filtered Light, which I don't think is in any of these. Infinity Powder, Dim Light and Diffused Light are also in here. But the finishing powder Filtered Light, which is this one, is not in any of my other palettes. But it looks like it might be for like a deeper skin tone. Now the bronzer, Golden Bronze Light in this new palette, let's see. All right, so the bronzer, Golden Bronze Light, which is this shade, is not in any of the palettes either. Metallic Strobe Powder in Celestial Strobe Light. Nope, this one has Beaming Strobe Light. This one is Celestial. Let's see. Nope, so the other thing, the Celestial Strobe Light Metallic Strobe Powder, which looks like the highlighter, that is not in any other palette either. And then the finishing powder in Transcendent Light, which is a darker shade, that is not in any of the other ones, I don't think. No, all the finishing powders in any other palette have been the light, Diffused Light or Dim Light, none of the deeper shades. And that's actually what I'm going to use as like my bronzer contour shades. So with this palette, if you're like looking for these two, they're already in other palettes. And then the other 4 shades are not in any other palettes. Now the blushes are the ones that kind of had me like, those are in other palettes. So this is what it looks like again. And this has the Incandescent Strobe Powder, which I have in another palette, I'm sure. Looking at all of these is like a lot of work. All right, so the blush, Soft Flush. So far, the blushes have not repeated themselves. Wait, I just had Celestial Strobe Light in. So the Celestial Strobe Light, Metallic Strobe Powder, both of them are the same in here. So if you were just thinking about, okay, I only want contour and bronzer, or I want blush and highlighter, they have the same powder. And sometimes I wish I could just like depan them, but whatever. Number 4, Mood Flush. The only things that have repeated are the like setting powders, the finishing powder Dim Light and Diffused Light in the bronzer palette. It's hard because when you look at these, they look very similar to other like palettes. So this one is Elephant, and then this is the new blush palette. Kind of similar, but these are kind of similar, but these ones are a little more like stroby, if that makes sense. This one was a couple of years ago. These shades are a little like darker. And this one was the Universe Lighting Edit, where everything was very marbled. This was the Lighting Edit Ghost. Okay, so this shade looks very similar to this top middle, very red toned, but this one looks like it might be a lot deeper. This one I think was my first ambient palette. This is the Lighting Edit Volume 4. And if you can tell, I absolutely love this peach shade, but not super similar, very different color stories. And then the last one that's not new. This is the Ambient Lighting Edit Sculpture. And these are the blushes in here. So this one right here and this one right here are very similar. Just this one is marbled and this one is flat matte. Maybe you find it helpful. Let me know. Do you like the comparisons? It's weird that I have so many like ambient lighting palettes from Hourglass. I picked them up when they released them because I like getting the 6 packs of them, and then they're easy to travel with. So like when I go on vacation or for work, I will usually grab one of these because there's a bronzer, blush, sometimes a highlighter, depending on which one I have. The downside is they show all the fingerprints, like all of them. Okay, now I'm gonna go into the Ambient Lighting Edit Sculpt and Set, which is the new bronzer contour highlight palette. I'm gonna go ahead and pick one of these shades to contour. I mean, this one is supposed to be like a setting powder that's deeper. And this one is definitely like cool. Actually, it looks warm toned. And this one has glitter in it. So I might do these two together and see if that works out as a contour. So just back and forth. Ooh, I kind of like that. Very like diffused and subtle. I really kind of like that. So these two mixed together made really nice contour. Now, I am for sure going to use just this one for bronzer. That is very warm. Don't go in so heavy. All right, very warm toned. I am actually now mixing the two together. I'm also going to use this shade right here because it seems to like have some shimmer and is a lighter tone. Maybe I can diffuse it out. This is why I try products, so you guys don't have to make the mistakes. It is giving some like glowiness on top here. So I'm mixing this one as well as these two. Like I'm getting like sunburn vibes on top of my forehead. Be weary. I am gonna go into the diffuse light and the dim light, and I usually just between the two of them and right here, and just kind of gives that focus back, and then under the eyes. Just so you get the lightness in the center of your face. Now with the blushes, these ones I'm going to swatch because I don't know what they look like. So the top one right here. Ooh, this bottom one right here, kind of cool toned. And then this one in the corner. Ooh, I really like this one and this one. This one is more, this one's more red, this one's more pink, this one's like plummy purpley. So we're using this one for the blush. So for highlighter, both of them have this shade right here, which is Metallic Strobe Powder, Champagne Strobe Light. Actually, wait, no. Did I say they were both the same? No, they're not. Metallic Strobe Powder and Celestial Strobe Light in this one. And then this one is Metallic Strobe Powder and Champagne Strobe Light. I know why they do both have the Celestial Strobe Light in it. This one just has an additional highlight shade. So this is the Celestial Strobe Light, and then this is the Champagne. Whereas this one in the center right here is the Celestial Strobe Light. So you get both in both blush and bronzer, but this one has an additional, and I really want to use the Champagne one. That is going to be my inner corner, my brow bone. I remember when I first tried Hourglass, I must have gotten the wrong highlighter. It was in one of the palettes and I thought it was a highlighter. It was not. It was muted. And I was like, oh, Hourglass is not good highlighters. And then I have been proven wrong every other time. It was just that palette. I was like, well, I was wrong. All right, so as much as I want to use that on my cheeks, I really want to try this one, which is in both of them. Oh, okay. Now, if I had to choose a favorite of both palettes, I would probably say the blush. Only because I definitely love blush, and I feel like with the two highlighter shades, absolutely worth it. Whereas this, I like it. It's just very warm toned, and if I was gonna buy either or, not both, I will definitely do the blush highlighter. That's my recommendation. Let me know your thoughts. Have you picked up the palettes? Were you looking at them? Did this help you make a decision? Let me know in the comments. I need to go ahead and do my eyeliner. I will be back for mascara because I have one to try out. I don't know how to do my brows because I just had them done and they're still tinted. So I will be back. Okay, you guys, so I went ahead and I curled my eyelashes, and I had the L'Oreal Telescopic Lift Mascara. This I have seen all over TikTok. There was some drama behind it, and I wanted to try it out. Now, I have naturally long lashes. Like, you can't see them. They're light brown, almost blonde. So I figured, let's try this out, see what all the hype is. There was like lash gate or whatever. I don't use false eyelashes. This is just mascara. So we're gonna go and do one coat. I will say it's nice because it's like pulling all my lashes apart. So I know when I look to the side, you can kind of see how it looks because I still wear liquid eyeliner and can't necessarily tell. So no mascara with mascara. I mean, it's nice. It does have an interesting angle to it. It has like a scoopy type of brush. Yeah, it's pulling all my lashes apart, which is nice. But I wouldn't say it gives you like false lash volume or anything like that. I guess it's just supposed to lift them. Oh, you're not supposed to stab yourself in the eye. Okay, I like one coat. It's not bad. It just pulled all my lashes apart, and they kind of like made them fluffy. They're not thicker by any means. It's just, it coated my natural lashes, and that's about it. This is the second coat. We'll see if it does anything else. I don't know, what do you guys think? I know you can really only see it like when I turn my head to the side because of the liquid liner. They're not bad. Like I said, I have long, thick lashes anyways, so it just kind of pulled all of them apart and accentuated them, but there's nothing like dramatic about them. It's a good mascara for work where I don't need that extra oomph, but there's a couple new ones that I tried out, like, was it Maybelline's Falsies Surreal? That one I really like because it makes them like fluffy and voluminous and look like falsies-ish. But I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Have you tried it out? Do you know what I'm talking about when I talk about lash gate? But my eyes look good, and I really like the eyeshadow. Okay, you guys, this is the final look, and I really like how my makeup turned out. Now, for the lips, I kept it pretty neutral. This is that MAC Locked Kiss liquid lip. I really like this, and I changed up my lip liner if you saw that video. Like I said, I will link everything that I used that I didn't discuss in the drop down box, so definitely check that out. Now, I like this. Let me know your thoughts. Like I said, I had a friend who told me that like orange wasn't my color when it came to eyeshadows. What do you think? And then of course we use the Melt Electrip eyeshadow palette. I really like this color story. It is very bold and vibrant. These shimmers down here, I really want to play around with. So that will definitely be something that I reach for summertime. We're getting into warmer months-ish, maybe. It was 68 degrees yesterday and it's starting to get into the 70s this weekend, so we'll see. Now the foundation, I do like how my skin looks right now. Like I said, I use some products that I know work well for my skin, and this was super liquidy. For being an oily girl, I really like how it looks on my skin. I'm interested to see how it lasts the next 6, 7, 8 hours. I will hopefully remember to look at my skin before I take it off and update the drop down box for you guys. But so far, I really like my skin. And like I said, we're gonna end up covering up my spots that I could see through the foundation anyways with blush and contour, which I think we did. My skin just looks nice, healthy, natural, minus the redness. And then the Hourglass face palettes. So this is the Blush and Glow. We dissected the previous palettes that I had in my collection, and then the Sculpt and Set. Like I said, this one is a little more warm toned. I don't mind it. I could probably finagle it somehow, maybe dip in slightly and then mix these two and get that glowy bronze look. But I'll have to play around with it. I really do like the Hourglass Ambient lighting palettes just because you get a couple more things than you would if you just went and bought the one compact of blush. So I do like that they have them in the palettes. Do you need every single one of them? Probably not. Do I have more than I need? Absolutely. But let me know your thoughts. Are you picking them up? Have you tried them out? If you had to pick one, which one would you be picking? You guys already know my thoughts and which one I would still purchase. But that is it for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell for notifications for new videos. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Until my next video, you guys, bye. And I'll see you in the next one.